So I'm Spencer and this is Liesl, and today we're making sandwiches because I love sandwiches. All right, so today I'm gonna make a grilled salmon BLT. It's gonna be dynamite. What are you making?
When you're done, I'm gonna go over here and show you how to make my panini. It's gonna be delish.
Well, let's get right into this. I'm gonna start with a B, the apple with smoked bacon. I always like to cook it in the oven, so we're gonna do that. Do you mind working on the L and the T while I get this underway here?
I will do the T and then the L.
Cool.
Okay.
So whenever I do bacon like this, I put it on parchment paper. That prevents it from sticking. And I just lay out a few slices here. I cook it at 375 degrees. It takes about 20 minutes, kind of depending on the thickness of your bacon. It's a great way to do it. It's basically mess-free, and you don't really have to monitor it, and it all stays perfectly flat. While the bacon is cooking in the oven, we're going to go ahead and get started on the salmon. Now, while I get that together, do you mind making the mayonnaise?
Sounds great.
I love the little herb mayonnaise on the sandwich. It just sort of kicks it up to the next level. So maybe a little bit of basil, a little bit of chives, and some tarragon.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of cracked pepper. I've got about a half-inch thick piece of salmon fillet, which I'm going to season with a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, a touch of ground coriander, and then just a little bit of oil to keep it from sticking on the grate of the grill. Okay, so that's just going to take a few minutes to cook, and then we'll put the whole sandwich together. So we're almost ready to assemble the sandwich. The bacon's done, the salmon's been cooked, we've got the mayonnaise made already, we've got all our vegetables lined up and ready to be eaten. I've saved a little bit of the bacon fat from cooking the bacon. I'm just going to brush it onto our bread here, and I just want to grill it for just a couple seconds here to give it a nice toast, a touch of char, and a little extra flavor. So this shouldn't take very much time at all. I bet it's done already. Pretty good. So we're going to assemble the sandwich. Here's that herb mayo that you made. Thank you. That was very nice of you. So, you know, I like to spread it on both sides. Not a huge amount. Okay, and then tomatoes down on one side. Okay, I generally like the bacon next. And then I'm going to put some watercress down and a little bit of lettuce. And then right in the middle we'll go to salmon. So we have a beautiful piece of salmon right there. And then close the whole thing up.
And that's huge. It's beautiful though.
Now that was really, really delicious.
Really good.
I'm really interested in tasting your panini now. That sounds fantastic.
Okay, well I'm ready. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is make this homemade tapenade.
Okay.
An olive tapenade. It's kind of like your mayonnaise. It's a really special ingredient that kind of brings out the outstandingness of this sandwich. So I'm gonna have you zest the citrus. We're gonna do an orange, a lime, and a lemon. We're also gonna add a clove of garlic, like a small handful of parsley. And then we also have a couple tablespoons of capers we're gonna add.
Are you adding any of the juice to it, or are you just using the zest?
Yeah, we're gonna add a little bit of the juice too. It's kind of like a squeeze of lemon, a squeeze of lime, and a squeeze of orange.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Cool.
Then we'll add our olives.
Fantastic. It smells fantastic.
Then the last thing is a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Blend up nicely. So then we just pulse it up in the food processor. Just gonna pulse it a few times until it kind of turns into the consistency of a pesto. Kind of chunky, but kind of smooth. All right, so we're ready to assemble our little sandwiches here.
Awesome.
While I'm getting these things on the bread, if you could just take this fresh mozzarella and rip it into some casual little chunks, that would be great. And then if you could take some of these big basil leaves and rip them into smaller pieces, that would be great.
Can do.
First of all, just kind of liberally brush this bread with some extra virgin olive oil. And I'm also gonna drizzle it with a little balsamic vinegar because these flavors all go so great together and it keeps your bread from getting too dried out. And then we're gonna use our lovely tapenade. It's got a lot of flavor. I'm just gonna use it on one side of the bread. Okay. And then I have some gorgeous artisanal salami. So you take some of your gorgeous mozzarella. This is our cheesy gooiness. And a few slices of roasted red pepper. Then our fresh basil. And then I'm gonna just put a couple more pieces of the mozzarella on top so that when we flip it over, the cheese melts on both sides. Then we're also gonna put a light brush of olive oil on the outside so that when it grills, it gets crispy and brown. And extra virgin olive oil gives everything a really good flavor.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're ready to put it on the grill. So here's my method for doing a panini on the grill. You're gonna take a sheet pan, put it over their sandwich, and then take your very fancy piece of equipment, it's a brick covered in tin foil. And you're gonna use this as your weight. Gently press the sandwich with it and hope that it balances. There you go.
Awesome.
And let that sit and do the panini press action.
Very clever.
While you're waiting, you can sip on your wine.
Oh, excellent.
I like
An excellent idea. Cheers. Okay.
Cheers. So we're gonna let this grill till the bread looks really brown and crispy and the cheese has started to melt.
Do you have to flip it at all? Or
Yeah, we're gonna flip
okay.
it because you don't have the heat coming from both sides like you would in a panini press. So we are gonna flip it. So each side of the bread gets crusty and it gets really melty and hot.
Oh my God, that looks fantastic.
All right.
Wow. Oh. Oh. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed our sandwich episode here.
So fun. Thank you
Liesl,
so much.
thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
And try these at home, guys. They're really easy and super tasty. Okay, so have a good one. Happy eating.